So, I came across this argument while scrolling through Facebook. It's about a term that I've never heard of before: eco-fascism. So, according to what is being said here, I am an eco-fascist, since I believe that the world is way too overpopulated. So the first thing I want to say about this is that the term eco-fascist is a direct result of overpopulation. If the person who invented this term did not exist, we wouldn't have a discussion right now. You see, this is precisely the problem of overpopulation. There exists too many people with too many opinions. There exists too many people who make too many statements. And this results into endless discussions and endless debates. It also results into the creation of millions of terms and concepts. So this person came up with the term eco-fascist. So what will happen is a new duality will be created. People who agree with ecofascism and people who disagree with ecofascism. And there you go, a new debate has opened. A new form of competition is created. And as we all know, not too many debates are done very peacefully. The opposing groups mostly don't like each other, especially on social media. It creates hate and frustration. It creates the need to fight each other. And yeah, so many thanks to the person that has invented the term eco-fascist. You have unleashed a new fight between two opposing groups. And this is what overpopulation is guilty of. Too many people have created thousands and thousands of opposing groups which are constantly competing and fighting with each other. And the more people there are, the more that will happen. Just have a look on social media. All you gotta do is throw a certain subject onto the battlefield and people will argue endlessly with each other. This is what our society has come to, endless arguing over everything, which is a result of overpopulation. If there weren't so many people, there wouldn't have been so many opinions and there would have been a lot less conflict, obviously. Now you might argue that in the past there were a lot more conflicts and wars and burning down of cities and genocides and all that, and that there has been a lot less of those things since the last 50 years, and that things are getting better and such. But nowadays it's more of a social media war that is going on. There are just way too many opinions and debates. It's literally endless. I mean, the more people there are, the bigger the chance that someone will disagree with your opinion, and the bigger the chance that someone will say something with which you will disagree with. So if you disagree with everything I have said by now in this video, notice that if the both of us never were born, that would have prevented the fact that we want to fight each other because of our disagreement. We are only adding problems to the world by disagreeing. So if you and I disagree, our existence adds up 2 people to the general population, but that's already too much, since the only thing we're doing here is arguing and competing with each other, if you strongly disagree with me. So the point is that if you throw out a counter opinion against overpopulation into the world, if you happen to receive a bunch of critique, well, that's precisely a result of overpopulation. By allowing billions of people to exist, you are allowing all sorts of opinions to exist, including a bunch of opinions which will be used against you. You are allowing a bunch of disagreeers to exist, whether you like it or not. That's what happens when billions of people exist. So if you argue that there is no such thing as overpopulation, that means that you will allow even more people to exist, including people who will potentially disagree with you. You are allowing people to exist who will disagree with you. So you are allowing your enemies to exist. So you perpetuate the overpopulation debate. In fact, you will even enlarge the debate. You will only create more and more agreeers and disagreeers. And the funny thing is that people who believe that there is no such thing as overpopulation want to convince everybody that there's no such thing as overpopulation, but they allow the population to increase, and of course by doing that they allow more and more potential people who will disagree with them. So they will have to convince even more people that there is no such thing as overpopulation, and then convince even more people, and even more people. They just keep the debate going on forever. Trying to convince people that overpopulation doesn't exist is so fucking stupid, while knowing that you allow many potential disagreeers by allowing the population to increase. And that's it. In fact, there is no more need to go into the ecological and the political arguments. It doesn't really matter what you are arguing for. If you allow more people to exist, then you allow more people to counter-argue with you. So you are just perpetuating your counter-arguers, which is stupid if you want to be right yourself. If you think you're the clever one. If you think you're the one with the right opinions. And that's it. If you disagree with me, too bad for you. If I wasn't born, there would be no problem right now. You wouldn't have to argue with me right now. And I don't care how much you disagree. I will keep attacking overpopulation deniers until they realize that they themselves have allowed people to exist that will attack them. All the shit that they are complaining about is literally their own fault. Done.